Welcome back to Ravens Today. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda, giving you all the latest updates on anything and all things Ravens. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Let's dive into it, alright? So, Zay Flowers is now being labeled the newest security blanket for Lamar Jackson. Lamar, for years, has always relied on tight ends as his security blanket. Now the media has portrayed Zay Flowers as the newest security blanket, especially after the season he had last year. So with ranking third in the percentile for when Lamar is under pressure. 36 targets to Zay Flowers when Lamar was under pressure. Just that. And I'm all for it. Give Zay his flowers, pun intended. Don't kill me in the comments section. Where Lamar and Zay have such great chemistry, and it's only going to get better and better, that Zay has now taken over the mantle that used to be Mark Andrews' thing, where Mark Andrews was the security blanket for Lamar, but I feel like Zay is kind of taking over that position to the point where while Lamar will still throw to Mark Andrews, still throw to Isaiah Likely, Zay Flowers is the one he's always looking for. And it's great to see that the Ravens finally have a wide receiver again that since the days of, Torrey Smith, Derek Mason before him, where Lamar can fully trust in a wide receiver to be able to complete the routes, make the catches, and make the big plays. By the way, Zay Flowers on social media not too long ago had mentioned that he is just running straight. He is not doing this juke thing anymore. I love that. I want to see we saw a glimpse of that when Lamar threw that big bomb to Zay Flowers back in the first couple of weeks of the season, and we just never really saw that again. I want to see more of that because I know Zay Flowers has the speed to get out of coverage and just get into the open field, and totally looking forward to seeing that input more into the game plan because I want to see that, and it'll just cement him as Lamar's newest security blanket. Moving on, so DeAndre Hopkins was asked why he chose the Ravens. Not in the aspect of why did you choose the Ravens? This was just another question added on to why the Ravens, because he's already answered this question so many times. But this one really got to me a little bit. Is that he said the Ravens always looked like they had a missing piece, and he wants to be that missing piece for them. Mind you, D-Hop is not young. We're seeing the twilight of his career a little bit here. But he has the best hands in the NFL. Hands down. Pun intended. Sorry. Don't roast me in the comments. Where whenever the ball is thrown to him, he is coming down with it. That doesn't mean that he can outrun these younger corners, but he can definitely be relied on, especially at a goal line. Like I've mentioned in previous videos, a goal line pass where throw it in the corner, he's coming down with it. I love this attitude from D-Hop saying that he wants to be that missing piece for them that they finally get over the hump and win a Super Bowl. And he can go off into the sunset with the Super Bowl ring. So D-Hop is just there to be that missing piece, and if not, he knows that he's going to contribute all he can to this team, and especially to Lamar Jackson. Love this attitude from DeAndre Hopkins. Moving on, so more rumors are floating around again. This is all speculative, and this is all this isn't materialized yet. But it looks like the Detroit Lions are in the mix for David Ojabo. I can see why. The Lions were crippled going into the playoffs last season. They literally lost almost half their defense before the playoffs. They limped into the playoffs, but they were the best team. They were still the best team in the AFC. They were gritty and they were determined, but there was just no way that a team that with half their players out on injured reserve, at least on defense, there was just it would have been a really tough hill to climb. Looking for another edge there to kind of have a backup for Aiden Hutchinson makes sense for the Lions. I want to know, and again, this is all rumors, all speculative, how the Lions are how much are they willing to pay for Ojabo? I could see a 3rd or 4th round pick coming out of this, and maybe like a veteran corner or something like this, where the Ravens aren't going to lose much and the Lions aren't going to lose much, but they come to an agreement anyway. And David Ojabo gets a breath of fresh air. Mind you, I'm kind of off the hype train of David Ojabo, and I get it. He was injured. He never really had a chance to do it, but when he was on that field, he just couldn't get anything going, and I think that it's definitely time to start looking at other options for him and seeing if we can get anything out of him. But that's just me. Lastly, so Rich Eisen said that Derrick Henry is already a Hall of Famer, regardless of him being on the Ravens and regardless of, the record-setting year he had on the Ravens, record-setting for the franchise. 100% agree. Derrick Henry is a Hall of Famer, whether it's with the Ravens or whether it's more for the Titans, in my opinion, because of his career over there. I still think that these next few years will definitely make it look like that Derrick Henry could be well, obviously this can't happen, but a 2-time Hall of Famer, where he's a Hall of Famer for the Ravens and the Hall of Famer for the Titans. So maybe he is inducted into the Ravens Hall of Fame. I don't know if that's happening, but we'll have to wait and see how his career goes in terms of if he's going to be able to produce as much as he did last season. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. Obviously on the Titans, yes, he absolutely is a Hall of Famer there, and he will definitely go in their Ring of Honor. On the Ravens, we after the season he had, if he's able to capitalize on a season he had last season and produces that more, even with his age, 100% believe that the Ravens will definitely consider putting him into the Ravens Ring of Honor. And Derrick Henry is already a Hall of Famer just from his career alone. 100% agree with that. Thank you for tuning into Ravens Today. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda. Again, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video. I will catch you all later.